It's time to leave the beaten path and have an adventure that's truly your own. Welcome to MojoTravels, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 under-the-radar trips of 2020. Are you a fan of our videos? Be sure to subscribe to MojoTravels and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at uniquely compelling destinations that receive relatively fewer destinations than they should. Uruguay. When people think of traveling South America, Brazil, Argentina, Chile, and Colombia are the ones that most likely come to mind. Uruguay, not so much. In this 68,037 square mile nation, populated by approximately 3.5 million people, the pace is notably relaxed, both in urban areas and the countryside. From Colonia del Sacramento's historic quarter, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, to the country's beautiful and uncrowded beaches, there's much to appreciate about Uruguay. Enophiles will absolutely fall in love with the country's similarly under-the-radar wine country, where Tannat grapes reign supreme. Of course, if you're looking for something a little more exciting, the annual Carnival won't disappoint, and the large swathes of untarnished wilderness provide ample opportunity for trekking. Though few people know it, Uruguay is a major beef exporter, and you better believe they know how to cook it too. The asado is to die and dine for. Newfoundland Canada. Arguably Canada's most overlooked province, Newfoundland and Labrador has so much to offer, and while the island of Newfoundland might not have the exotic appeal that some of the other entries on today's list have, we strongly urge you to give it a go. After all, over the last decade, Iceland became the it destination because of its rugged natural splendor, and though by no means an identical landscape, Newfoundland boasts similarly rustic natural beauty that is sure to take your breath away. They even have a fjord. The island's rocky shoreline is characterized by dramatic cliffs and dotted with towering monoliths, but it also has so much more to offer. Newfoundland boasts a rich history and culture of traditional music, folktales, and seafood. Depending on the time of year, you can also see the northern lights, or spot various species of whales. Pakistan. This South Asian country is the 6th most populated in the world, but since the vast majority of people live in the nation's cities, there's still ample room for exploration and adventure. Pakistan is often bypassed due to legitimate human rights concerns and ongoing conflicts, but in reality, much of the country is open to visitors. Though this nation is often painted in broad brushstrokes in the West, it's also an incredibly diverse country, both in terms of cultures and landscapes, and tourists are really beginning to take notice. In 2018, CNN dubbed Pakistan adventure travel's best-kept secret. With its soaring mountains, lush green spaces, captivating deserts, dense forests, vibrant cities, and historic sites, Pakistan defies expectations. Semuc Champey National Park, Guatemala. Guatemala as a nation does fairly well for itself in terms of tourism. It's actually one of the main driving forces of the country's economy, with over 2 million people visiting every year. Mayan ruins, colonial architecture, religious sites, and beaches are some of the primary draws. But Guatemala is also incredibly rich in terms of natural beauty and wildlife. And though only a fraction of visitors put it on their itinerary, Semuc Champey National Park is easily one of the country's greatest treasures. Semuc Champey means where the river hides under the stones, and the park takes its name from its starring attraction, the Semuc Champey National Monument. A massive natural limestone bridge covering the Cahabon River, the site is staggeringly beautiful, with gorgeous turquoise pools of water. The park isn't easy to reach, but it's well worth the effort. Armenia. This nation is at a bit of a crossroads in terms of both geography and identity. On one hand, it's very much steeped in history and feels largely unaffected by outside influence. That being said, as people increasingly seek out authentic travel experiences, the tourism industry is beginning to pick up, which makes now the perfect time to visit, before tourist-centric infrastructure colors the landscape and culture. Because right now, pretty much everything you'll experience in Armenia is authentic, from the food and the accommodations to the exceedingly friendly locals. There's even an Armenian saying that translates to "a guest is a gift from God." The cuisine of the Caucasus region is quite distinct, The Armenian countryside is staggeringly beautiful, and the country is rich in historic sites. What more could you want? Sri Lanka. Southeast Asia is an area of the world that is by no means lacking for international visitors. In fact, some of the most popular destinations, like Indonesia and Thailand, are struggling with issues of over-tourism. But the nation formerly known as Ceylon is in South Asia and is a wondrous destination, despite terrible terrorist attacks it suffered in 2019. From historic temples to amazing food, affordable Sri Lanka has it all. Try a kutu roti. Tea lovers in particular are sure to be blown away by the seemingly endless tea plantations, while the countryside offers ample opportunity for hiking. If you're the sort of traveler who prefers to take advantage of the tropical climate by surfing, getting a tan, or frolicking in the waves, awesome beach towns like Marissa, Uluwatuna, and Bentota are bursting with appeal. Mongolia. Survey 100 people and ask them for the top 10 places on their bucket list. Chances are incredibly low that Mongolia is going to come up. But 2020 is the year to change that, even with Asia's coronavirus concerns. With travelers increasingly looking for authenticity when planning a trip, Mongolia is likely to see an increase in the number of international visitors it receives. Among this rugged land of adventure, the locals continue to practice age-old traditions and are fiercely proud of their culture, which they're only too happy to share. A trip to Mongolia usually involves a crash course in the nomadic way of life, complete with a stay in a traditional yurt and observing local competitions and games. For anyone looking to reconnect with nature and escape civilization, with the option of returning to a bustling city, Ulaanbaatar should you choose, Mongolia is the perfect destination, promising an utterly unique travel experience. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MojoTravels, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.